Welcome back to my channel, folks. Today we're in the kitchen. We're gonna make this Olive Garden favorite, Zuppa Toscana. It's actually pretty easy to make and it tastes better when you make it at home. So without further ado, let's get into the kitchen. For this recipe, we're gonna need the following. We're gonna need 1 medium onion. I dice it roughly. We're gonna need 4 or 5 slices of thick cut bacon, 1 pound of Italian sausages. You can use mild or hot for this. I'm using hot. We're gonna need some better than bouillon chicken base, about 1 full tablespoon, some Italian seasoning to taste, some garlic paste, or 3 or 4 fresh garlic cloves, some all-purpose flour, 3 or 4 potatoes diced. I cut about a 1/2 inch thick and then put them in quarters. We're gonna need 64 ounces of chicken stock, about 6 cups, 1 cup of half and half, some black pepper. This is restaurant style, but if you get fresh, that's better. Some red pepper flakes, that's optional. Some Parmesan cheese for the garnish, some salt, and about 3 cups of kale. Okay, as you can see, I've chopped up my bacon. I've added it to my pan. I'm gonna continue to stir this until it renders down and give me some nice crispy pieces. After about a few minutes, this is how it looks like. Once you get to your desired level of crispiness, you're just gonna strain them out and leave that reserved bacon grease inside the pan. All right, now that I've removed my bacon, I've added my Italian sausage. I'm gonna continue to stir this until it breaks down. Once it looks like this, there's really no need to make it any finer. Just make sure it's thoroughly cooked. Once your sausage is cooked, take and add about 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour to it and give it a good stir. The flour is going to serve as a binder. It's also going to allow our soup to thicken up once we add the half and half to it later in the recipe. Just make sure you stir it around really good and cook off that flour for about 2 or 3 minutes. Quick note, you don't need to add all the flour if you don't like. You can kind of guesstimate your level of thickness that you want to use. I'm using about 1/4 cup, and this is gonna give me a good little consistency in our soup. So once you finish that, go ahead and remove this from the pan and add it over there to a side with the bacon. Okay, now that we removed our sausage, I added my onions to the pan. I'm going to continue to stir these until they're translucent or clear. Now that our onions are tender, I'm going to add a couple squirts of garlic paste to it. I'm going to give that a quick stir. After that, I'm going to add about 1 full teaspoon of better than bouillon chicken base. It's going to add another layer of flavor to our pan and to our onions. Give that a good stir. Once you've done that, I'm going to go ahead and add our chicken stock. Again, you're going to need about 6 cups. That's about 2 cartons, 2 32 ounce size cartons. And now that we've got our chicken stock, I'm going to go ahead. I've drained the potatoes. I kept them in some water so they wouldn't turn brown. And I'm going to add these to our chicken stock. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow these to come up to a boil, and I'm going to simmer those. Now I left the skin on. You can peel these if you like. Just make sure that you wash them either way. But there's a lot of nutrients in those peels, so I decided to leave mine on. Again, give this a quick stir. Okay, now that our potatoes have come up to a boil, again, I'm going to allow these to simmer for about 15 minutes until they become fork tender. All right, it's been about 15 minutes. Just want to find a few pieces and check for tenderness. These are perfect right where I like them. All right, now that our potatoes are done, I'm going to go ahead and add our Italian sausage and our bacon back to the pot. This is our first seasoning, so I'm just gonna season to taste here with our ingredients. We're gonna use our salt, our Italian seasoning. It's an Italian dish, so this makes sense to use some Italian seasoning, in my opinion. We're gonna follow that up with some black pepper. Again, if you have some fresh cracked black pepper, that works best. But I have some restaurant style black pepper. It's a little bit bigger than a regular pepper on hand, so I'm gonna use that. Now, because I'm using hot Italian sausage, I'm not gonna use red pepper flakes. However, you can choose to do so if you're using mild Italian sausage, just to give it a little bit more of a kick. Once that's all done, I'll go ahead and strip down my kale from the stems. I've washed them off, and I'm just adding all the kale to the pot. I'm gonna get this submerged a little, then we're gonna cover and let this simmer until the tail gets tender. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Our kale is tender. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of half and half through the mixture, and I'm gonna give all of this a nice stir. Once we've given this a nice stir and our flavors have had an opportunity to marinate together, this is a perfect opportunity to taste it and re-season if necessary. If not, go ahead and plate it up. And this is what it looks like. I added a little bit of Parmesan cheese to mine and topped it with a couple pieces of that crispy bacon. And believe you me, this was good. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.